Good morning everyone and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex and this is another episode of Paper Talk. We're looking at the news that have been coming in through the past 24 hours all around Manchester United as we always do. Hope you're doing okay, hope you're staying safe, staying at home, doing all those good things. We are starting off today with the news about Jack Grealish. This came from David Ornstein. David Ornstein's podcast yesterday, I believe on The Athletic. He mentioned that Manchester United are no longer, and contrary to reports that came out a lot yesterday, there was a lot of reports yesterday that the Grealish deal was done and dusted and that Jack Grealish was going to be at Manchester United and that was all going to be done. He has said that United aren't in for Jack Grealish and are actually focusing on a defensive midfielder. Which is, like I said, it's kind of contrary to reports that have been coming in the last few weeks. We've been linked with Jack Grealish, we've been linked more with James Maddison. I brought that to you last Friday. Or last Saturday, I think it was. So the reports were we were after an attacking midfielder and we were after someone to fulfil that role. But by the looks of things, it's not what Manchester United are looking for now. And maybe this is more down to the fact that Paul Pogba is staying, or we're not looking at moving Paul Pogba on. It's looking more and more likely. There's been less reports that Manchester United are going to be selling Paul Pogba. And like I've always said, and I think like all the guys at Paddock are saying, that I think to replace Paul Pogba, you've got the Bruno element that has a little bit of creativity, has that, a lot of creativity, but has also got a little bit of defensive work rate, can get up and down the pitch, and maybe can sit deeper or play in the 10 in different games. I think the other aspect to that is you need another creator. I think you need almost two players, and I think that's what Ollie was after. But by the looks of things, Real Madrid, I don't know how much money they're going to spend. We talked about this a lot on our membership podcast yesterday, actually. So if you're not a member and you want to see a bit more, that came out yesterday. We talked about this yesterday, how, if Paul Pogba stays, where does that fit? And also, where does he actually go if he does want to leave? Are Real Madrid going to spend the money? They've not spent the money in the past few years. Well, they have very badly. They spent a lot of money last summer and it hasn't really worked out for them. They've done okay in the league this year, but struggled a little bit in the Champions League. Not looked the best. So the question is, where are they going to spend the money? Are they more after a striker? Will they come in for Harry Kane, which I think is a possibility? They're probably after a striker. They're probably after someone like that. And maybe a midfielder, and Paul Pogba isn't high on their list. Modric and Kroos are getting on a little bit, but at the same time, they're very good players, and I don't think they need to replace them instantly. I think there's other areas of the pitch that they need to replace. Get your comments in. I've got the comments up here, so get your comments in, get your questions in, and we can keep doing it. What was that? Where are we here? Joe has said something. Shirt hung up in the now. That is original. Thanks, Mr. Stephen House. And yeah, not a lot I can do. I'm at home. I'm trying. I got a load of abuse for having golf flags up in the background and all that kind of stuff. But today, the other bit of news we've got today, and this comes from the ultra reliable source of the Metro. I'm going to do this. Joe's not very happy. I think he's not very happy because I've not used his little slates that he's put on for me. And obviously, this is my first time doing this live stream through this way. So, going to be a few technical difficulties. But as you can see there, Greenwood, part of the Sancho deal. This is coming from the Metro saying that Borussia Dortmund want Mason Greenwood as either a replacement or as just a loan deal in terms of Jadon Sancho. That has no chance of happening. I don't care how much Borussia Dortmund want that. I don't care who links that. It is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There was reports come out yesterday as well. Gary Neville was speaking to Sky Sports and he spoke to Nicky Butt apparently recently and said that, and Mason Greenwood has come out and said that Nicky Butt has said that Mason Greenwood is the best product that Manchester United he's ever seen at Manchester United, which is a huge statement. Nicky Butt has come through obviously that class of '92 era. He came through with Scholes and Giggs and all those great players. He's also been there when Paul Pogba was a kid. He was also there when the Ravel Morrisons who could have gone on and done things were there. He's seen all those things, and he said that Mason Greenwood is the best of the bunch coming through. So I think if that's the case, if Mason Greenwood is that level, I don't see Manchester United get rid of him. There's no chance that they're going to do that, and I don't think it's worth doing that. I don't think it's worth sending him out. I think he wants to. We've got Joe saying laggy. for you. We can do... Let me see if we are gone or back. I'm going to keep talking. That's probably the best way I can do things at the minute. I'm not sure what's going on with it all. I think we're struggling with no lags. Wasn't even lagging. So Steve's talking. Sorry about that. Yeah. So Mason Greenwood, top player. No chance I can see him moving on. I don't think that's going to be the case. Yeah, Joe. Blame Joe Smith for all this. It's all Joe Smith's fault. It's not me. Obviously, I've done this perfectly this morning. No hiccups whatsoever. Anyway, Mason Greenwood isn't leaving. There's no chance. So if you've got any more questions for me, let me know. Someone's got in the comments here saying a loan for a season wouldn't be bad. Actually, would be good for his development. I don't think so. I don't think he needs that. I think he just needs to physically develop. I think and just playing for Manchester United will do that. I think that you've got to remember he's 17, he's 18. He's not that young. He's very, very young. I don't think he needs that loan. I think he just needs to play football. I think he needs little bits of pieces into the first team, and I think Mason Greenwood has got plenty of time to be doing that. I don't think he needs a loan. I think he's going to be good enough. I think he's potential to be a world-class player. No chance for all that. Who else have we got here? Would Sancho fit into a 5-3-2 that Ollie likes to play sometimes? Good question. To be honest, I'm not too sure about that. I think the 5-3-2s are very different. He definitely won't play as a wing back. He'd have to play in that too. So it all depends on why he's choosing to play that. Is it to be a counter-attacking team? Is it like that? I think Jadon Sancho, you've seen Dan James kind of fit into that system a bit more this season as a part of the two. But I think he's more direct. I think Jadon Sancho wants to be on the ball. And I don't think that system kind of fits in Jadon Sancho. And look, for as much as this is the case, Jadon Sancho will come in and be a quality player. But at certain times, maybe he's not going to play. If we have to play 3-5-2 for some season, whether it be matching a system or whatever it is, I don't think he doesn't have to play. And that's the situation we want to be in. You know, you look at City this season, you know, and City played us in the cup and didn't play Aguero. And everyone went, oh, no Aguero? And they didn't play Jesus either. And you're like, that's their two best strikers not playing. They played a false nine and absolutely battered us. So, you know, you don't have to play. Sometimes you don't have to play your best players to get those results and kind of rotating. And I think we need that strength in depth. Whereas this season, we've had when we play the three up front, the three up top, we've only had three options. And the same with the two. That was kind of enforced upon by the fact that we've got Mason Greenwood, who obviously is a very good player, but is still very young. And you've only got really Martial and James in the forward positions. So it's like, you don't have any options there. You don't have the option that City did where they can drop Aguero and Jesus. What else are we on here? Let's have a look. Luke Warm saying the headlines today sound like awful bollocks. Well, the top one's from David Ornstein, who's pretty good with all this stuff. You know, he's done a lot of the writing about Sancho, saying that he's probably going to end up here and that. But you know, like I said, the Greenwood one is from the Metro, and like I said, this is an absolute bollocks one. I'm going to get rid of that bit there. Let's have a look. Would you get goats on a free? Absolutely not. No, I don't think so. I think the thing is with free transfers, everyone kind of says there's no risk involved and all that. You know, it's free. You know, but you've got to remember we didn't really pay anything for Alexis Sanchez, and you've seen what that's kind of caused. And I think someone like Goetze would only come for very good wages, and I think that, you know, that would cause problems in the team. You know, I think that, you know, we're obviously looking at players in that position that would be coming in for a long period of time. You know, you're looking at a Grealish coming in. You're looking at, even if it's Bruno there, and to bring someone in there to kind of fill in who's on probably going to be more than what they're on, I don't think is a good option right now. I think that it's kind of, I mentioned it last week about Ighalo. You know, I like Odi Ighalo. He's been fantastic since he's come in and done really, really well. But one of the problems is that if next year for us to keep him, if he wants close to that wage he was on in China, it might cause some problems. And I just don't think that. Sometimes I don't think that'll be worth it. So I think you have to get Ighalo on the right price. I don't think it's worth spending more than. I mean, 100 grand. I think he's been quoted as being paid now. I think that even that is a lot of money for someone that is a rotation player. You know, he's a quality he's been a great rotation player and things like that. But at the same time, that's a lot of money to be spending on a centre forward. So we'll see what happens with that. What else are we on here? Grealish has done deal, lads. Don't worry, I've spoken to him personally. Quote me on that. That's from Kamucha. That's pretty good. If that's true, fair play. But who knows? Then we've got Howson asking about what time we started drinking. I mean, are we having a break today and waiting until tomorrow for the rundown, or are we just going to get on in this afternoon, or is that what it is now? I've got to go on a run because our fantastic producer Cameron put me into nominated me for this 5k thing, so I'll be doing that this afternoon, so there'll be no drinking till after that, although I could do that drunk, but I'd rather not. Callum has said, what happens if we get Sancho and get rid of Sanchez? We've done very well is what happens there. You know, that's kind of the transition almost done there, of us getting out the players who are on too much money that we don't really want to players that are on the right money that we do really want. You know, that was the situation we were in. So that's really the point of, that's what he has to get done. Joe Smith cans for Late Night Live, of course. How could I forget Late Night Live from Joe Smith? Late Night Live tonight at 10 o'clock. So make sure you're joining in with that. Alex is detoxing. I'm definitely not detoxing. I've got a tea, if that counts as detoxing, but no. I'm waiting for my Salford rum to arrive, so that's my next. That's the next thing for what we'll be having. Matty Longstaff for free is in one of the comments. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Longstaff thing is gone now. I think we've got. I think Bruno Fernandes is the man instead of there. Let's have a look. See if there's any more comments. Joe, have you started early? I hope not, because he was helping me out before. So if he was doing that drunk at 11 o'clock in the morning, he's done well. Camucho, busy tonight at 10 o'clock. You can't be busy at 10 o'clock. You've got to make some time for Joe Smith's Late Night Live. Beer with breakfast, we're trying to stay off that. You know, I've seen a lot of people, you know, it's tough in this lockdown, this kind of stuff. So staying off the beer at breakfast is the probably tip. Wait till the afternoon at least. Wait till the afternoon a bit. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. Thanks very much for joining us. If you're not already a member, I've seen there's a few members in the chat. We released our first membership podcast this morning, I believe. So if you want to check out and see what that's done, click the little join button next to the subscribe button. Get involved in that. Also, we are in the process of sorting out the merchandise that will be going out for this month. So make sure you take a look at that. Hopefully we're hoping it all comes through. Hopefully this all gets sorted for the end of this month. Get all that's done. Make sure you do that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video, and I'll see you next time.